I wanted to quickly come here and say, I think, for the most part, I think it's important to schedule your meals. And why do I say that? Because, I don't know, lately I've been playing around with the idea of, you know, I'm a 2 meal a day kind of person, right? Before, it used to be big lunch, no breakfast, dinner, big dinner, right? What did this do? So I had a cortisol spike because I was hungry around the whole morning. I was all tense. Well, not tense, but it wasn't the most pleasurable thing. And I guess until it reached midday, 1 p.m., I would be a bit, on edge. Not on edge, but hungry, right? What did this do? Did it push me to work harder? Did it push me to be less focused? Yes, it did. Did it push me to not abuse substances but use substances? Yes, it did. What did I use? Caffeine, sometimes nicotine as well, in the form of pouches. What did this do? Did it hinder my focus? To some extent, yes, it did. I would say, yes, it's not a bad protocol if you're used to it. Although, if you do require, if you're one of those people that requires food first thing in the morning, eat breakfast. I don't know. I've been playing around these past few days. I wake up earlier. I make a nice big hearty breakfast. Usually something around 4 or 5 eggs, piece of bread, nothing packaged like, shitty full of glyphosate bread, nothing like that. Good sourdough. A smoothie of some kind, and then yogurt with fruits. Simple, right? But what does that do? Full of protein, full of fiber, so you feel full and you're full of energy, right? There's nothing unhealthy about that. Now you have those people from the fucking the I don't know, the FDA, no, not FDA. Anyway, health authority that are like, oh, but no, but eating more than 2 eggs a day is unhealthy. Oh no, oh no. It's good for your balls, man. It's good for your balls. Don't listen to these fucking fat bastards that tell you to not eat as many eggs. You can eat as many eggs as you want. You will never have a problem with your cholesterol. There's good cholesterol, there's bad cholesterol, but even the bad cholesterol, right, is all a big fucking psyop. They don't tell you this because they want you to be sick. But anyway, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. A healthy fat source is great for your testosterone production. Why? Because many times your testosterone latches onto your fat cells. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, I believe this is the process. I will read up on that and then I will let you know. Although, back to it, I think 4 or 5 eggs a day is, even 10. 10 is great. You'll feel like a fucking bull. And that's good. That's good. You want to feel like a bull. You want to conquer the day, grab the world by its balls. Yeah, fuck yeah. But anyhow, nice big hearty breakfast. You wait a while, okay, cool. Reaches midday, you're not hungry, whatever. Today, for example, I went up until what time was it? Maybe 12 without coffee. That's never happened to me, ever. Why? Because my body was full, it had energy. Another thing that is highly important that I did notice was dehydration, right? You may think, oh no, but I mean, if you drink water, no big deal. So what? No, actually, I was at work today and I had my big hearty breakfast. Okay, cool. I had my coffee. Right after having my coffee, I started feeling like, ugh, ugh. Is that normal? No. After your coffee, you're supposed to be on, right? You're meant to be on. You're meant to be fired up. Why was I not fired up? I did some research. Most likely, dehydration. And then the other one was like diabetes, but fucking do I look like a person that's diabetic? No. Have I ever had any blood sugar problems? No. So, why was I feeling tired right after having my coffee? Because of dehydration. What does caffeine do? It basically, if I recall correctly, allows for your, it constricts your blood vessels, if I believe. And what does that do? That basically, and whatever it does, you feel dry. I'll explain that in further detail. I really need to read up on my, science, but I don't want to just spit out bro science. Although do your own research. But again, I did this. I read this today. It's not bullshit. It does dehydrate you to some extent. So what's important? What's important is that you drink a lot of water throughout the day. This is good for you, for your body, for your hydration, and for your skin. Why? Because when you're hydrated, your skin replenishes itself and has building blocks to heal off of. If it's always dry as fuck, you're always going to be susceptible to breakouts and other bullshit, right? Because your skin basically doesn't have a barrier. But anyway, moving on from that, back to diet. Then, I had my big hearty bowl of rice, beef, and veggies. Although my colleagues were like, oh, today, new hire, let's go out to get something to eat. Here in Spain, there's this place called Honest Greens. It's great. It's honestly great. Honestly, great. But you see, I mean, their portions aren't as big as mine. So do I feel hungry now? Yes, because my whole plan around this was eat a big breakfast, eat a slightly smaller lunch, and then have something light for dinner so that, once I hop into bed, I am empty. I am light and I can sleep and recover to the best of my ability so that I can wake up the next day earlier and do that shit all over again. Will I eat something a bit bigger later? Yeah, probably. Will that hinder my sleep? A little, probably. Is that such a big deal? No. Why? Because tomorrow, I will eat what I prepared today, right? What I prepared for today, because it's just beef. It's gonna be fine. It's in the fridge. But anyway, back to the diet. I think this is a way better approach. Why? Because once you get home, right? Ideally, you would eat around 6 to 7, so that when you get in bed around 9, you are fully, you've digested whatever you ate, right? Ideally, even 10, you've digested everything. And then your body can rest and focus on rebuilding itself, especially since you've done, I would assume, strenuous hard workouts. Although, if this is not the case, make it the case. You need that. But anyhow, back to it. I would think that since you are also, peep the rash guard. Now I'm going to jujitsu. I'm about to fuck him up after a week of being out because of my bullshit ear infection. Hell yeah. Back to it. Anyway, yeah, dude. Especially for me, right? I do this solely because I have jujitsu at a later time. If I had jujitsu in the morning, I would skip breakfast, have a big fucking lunch, and then have a big fucking dinner, although earlier in the day, so that I am able to sleep peacefully, although being fulfilled before going to bed, right? Doing it this way is not hard. Although I may feel hungry, I know for a fact if I had eaten my original lunch, which consisted of a healthy amount of carbs, a good amount of protein, and a good amount of fiber from the veggies, I'm for sure certain I would have not felt hungry right now. Today is a different day, and whatever. It's okay. Although, tomorrow we'll test out this theory. Although I am sure within myself that it will go well, and I will absolutely fuck up everyone. Why? Because I feel full. Even just now speaking, I feel full. I feel full of energy and I feel good, Although I am a bit hungry. Does that mean I'm weakened? No. Ever so slightly, maybe. But this is the feeling I have when I skip out on breakfast. I feel hungry. I want to eat. Am I going to eat? No. See? Even my stomach's saying, please feed me. I can't. I cannot for the life of me train, especially jiu-jitsu, where I'm doing fucking backflips, front flips, everything, on a full stomach. I've tried that before. Horrible. Do not recommend at all. You will throw up on the tatami and your coach will be mad as fuck because he has to do extra cleaning. Do not. Please. I never threw up, although I've gotten close to. Please don't. Another thing, cheat meals. When it comes to, especially if you're dopamine maxing, right? Or dopamine minimizing, or cheap dopamine minimizing, right? You don't want to, fine, sure, indulgence is one thing, and then gluttony is another, right? Indulgence, I would say, because, dopamine minimizing doesn't necessarily have to be, you deprive yourself of all good things. No. Why? Why would you do that? That's miserable. The whole goal here is to be happier from cutting out all the cheap dopamine, right? So why would you willingly cut out all the dopamine? That's stupid. No. Cutting out the dopamine from having a nice home-cooked meal that you made for yourself, and you made it nice, all within the means of your macros, that it's macro friendly, that it's calorie friendly, because you're looking towards a certain goal, right? You're looking to achieve something physically. You're not meant to deprive yourself of yummy things. You can do and make yummy things with a compromise. That compromise also just being, I don't know, you switch out mayo for Greek yogurt. That is not the end of the world, I promise. Making a burger, if you use lean mince and, I don't know, let's say you are high level man, you make your own buns, right? If you have the time to do that. Or you buy nice, sourdough, and you make a nice sandwich, right? There's nothing wrong with enjoying a nice sandwich. Although there is a big fucking problem when you run over to McDonald's and you eat that goy slop, right? Why? Because then you come back and you're like, oh, well, I'm still hungry. Okay, let's go get another. So what did you lose now? You lost 20 euros and you wasted 2,000 calories. On what? On shit that's literal shit. Pouring shit in a kettle. Shit in a kettle. Yeah. Really? I don't know. Do the thing. And I don't want to steal Hamza's line, but I do love it. I do love it. It has such a good message, Do the hard thing, especially when you don't feel like it. I want to make my own thing. I'll come to that some other day. But for now, lock in. Lock in, buddy. You can do it. I can do it. So can you. I promise. It's not that hard. All you gotta do is want it enough. So don't be discouraged. Everyone starts somewhere. You just gotta start. Do the thing.